difficulty there, guys, getting started. Sorry about that. But anyway, here we are. It's Saturday Night Live weathering with me, Ted Yorio. Steve, how's it going, buddy? Looks like it's just you and me right at the moment. We'll see what happens. Let's see, can you make sure that I can hear myself here? Make sure that. Yep, okay. Microphone's working. Didn't want to repeat it last week. Anyway, so here we are. Saturday night. Can do something a little different. I have this passenger car. It is a baggage dormitory car. I am not sure if the Penn Central had one of these or not. I've been looking through my books, but it's a Walters car. And it's got a lot of the features that you would see on a Penn Central car, so I'm assuming maybe it is. I just haven't found it in the in any books yet. So, yeah, thanks for the audio check, man. After last week, I don't know. I think I went like 6-7 minutes before I realized that the mic wasn't working. So, at least it's working today. Anyway, so there's just a little trouble getting started tonight, but we're here. So that's half the battle. So we'll take out our stuff that we need. Hope everybody had a great week. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. Make sure I am where I'm supposed to be here. Okay. Just trying to see. Okay, we have 5 people here. All right. Okay. So we're going to do this passenger car tonight. I do have another one for another night. I decided to do this baggage dormitory car. I'm not going to go too heavy on it. Passenger cars were taken care of, even in the Penn Central time. I've been looking at some of the books and some of the pictures. What I did notice is a lot of a little bit more grime on the top that I would need, and definitely the underbody, the trucks, and all this paraphernalia on the side. All were heavily weathered on the bottom. So, but the sides of the cars tend to look good. So let me just get a couple more things out, and then I'll show you some of the pictures in the book. Okay, let's get out our pigments. Let's get out a wash. Let's see, I might use this wash tonight, dark wash. Or, let's see. No, neutral wash would not work. Might try this tonight, the Starship Wash. Okay. So again, thanks everybody for signing on and being with me tonight. Saturday night, and it being Saturday night, we're going to have our beer. Get that ready. We're going with my last can of Well-Being Victory Wheat. I have another order coming in soon of beer, non-alcoholic beer from Unleaded Brewing Beverage Company. So let's give this a pour. And we'll get the weekend started. Although the weekend's already been started, kind of, so. I don't know about where you guys are, but we are expecting a huge snowstorm. I think bigger than the last one, unfortunately. They're talking anywhere from 18 to 20 inches here on the New Jersey coast here, so. Yippee, fun, huh? I'm so done with winter. I need Paul Kassir to send me some of that Australian summer our way here, because I am tired of the cold and the snow. But anyway, guys, cheers. Happy Saturday. Hope you guys are having a great week. Hope you have a great weekend. All right. So thinking about the plan of attack on this car. Don't need to take the color wheel out because we're dealing with silver and black. And all I'm going to do is really not too much you could do to fade a silver, but what you could do is grime it up a little bit. So I'm definitely going to use a wash on the side. I'm going to probably go with a dry brush of the Kursk soil on these items here, kind of like what I do on the trucks, and with a very light dusting of a lighter tone of pigment. I don't want to use the Russian earth because I think that's a little too dark, but I'm going to go with the dark earth, which is actually a little bit lighter. So I'll show you that in a little bit. So I think that's the plan of attack for tonight. The roof will get just a little bit of wash and a light dusting of grime on top. This should probably go pretty quick. I don't think this is going to, even though it's a larger car, I don't think it's going to take as long as some of the other cars we've done, especially since we're not doing the fade on it. So, all right, so let me get some paper towel. I don't know about where the rest of everybody else is. If you're expecting any snow, I know you guys out in the Midwest had some violent weather. I hope everybody came out all right with that. There was quite a few tornadoes from what I was seeing. And, you know, knock on wood, that's not a problem that we have in here in New Jersey. We do get an occasional tornado, but not like you guys get out in the West there, Midwest, South. So if you guys are out there and you've had some bad weather, hopefully you came through okay. All right, so let's get our stuff set up. All right, so what I'm thinking about using, let me show you actually what I did. I know you might have watched the video I put out yesterday where I did this flat car deck. And if you haven't watched it, you know, go back and watch it. It was, if you remember on the live feed last week, we had the inside of the gondola that wasn't done yet. And I had to come out and figure out a way to give it a good grimed up weathered look. And I wound up going with this Starship Wash on that gray deck. And did that, blotted it a little bit away, made sure it was tacky, and I went back with the earth tones pigments, a mixture of the Russian earth and the dark earth. So I got that light and darker effect with the pigments, and I burnished that into the wood, and that's how it came out. And here's the flat car that I did yesterday on the that short video that I did, and I kind of like that. It came out really good. So it was the first time I ever used the Starship Wash, and what I noticed was the Starship Wash is kind of like you can't really see in the bottle here, but it's kind of like a grayish brown. So it's like a brown with a gray tint to it, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense, but I kind of like how it looks. So I'm thinking about a starship. You think about starships and stuff, they're kind of like this, in my mind. A lot of times starships and spaceships are kind of like this silver, shiny metallic silver type thing. So I'm thinking it should work maybe on here. We'll find out. So let's mix this up a little bit. And we'll put that aside. So you guys know, right after I'm done here, you can head over to On the Pine, which is Steve O's YouTube channel, and he's going to be doing some stuff. I'm not sure if you're doing buildings tonight or you're doing weathering or whatever he's going to be doing, but it's always interesting when Steve's on. And you should subscribe to the channel and get notifications because Steve goes on at a different times besides the regular Saturday night. I know he's on a lot of times during the week, so check him out. All right, let's get started. Let's get a brush. Let's see, which was the one I was using this week. Okay, I'll use this one here. This brush is on its last leg. It's getting tossed tonight. But we did get a couple of weeks out of it, so a couple weathering sessions out of it. And that's what's nice about dollar store brushes. All right, so we're going to go very lightly across the car on the top here. And I don't know if you can see, if you can notice that that's that grayish brown that I was talking about. I'll get a couple of random streaks down the side. Stay away from the windows. We don't want to dirty the windows up too much. All right. Let's wipe off the excess, and then we're going to start putting this on here. Now, it looks like a lot, but we were going to wipe a lot of it away, so we're not going to panic yet. A lot of times, we're flying by the seat of our pants a lot of times here, so I think this is the first time I'm doing a silver passenger car like this, so it's either going to go good or it's going to go sideways real quick. We'll see. But again, don't forget, we put a lot on and we always take a lot off. That's kind of how you build up weathering, you know, on cars. Okay, let's wipe this off. Let's get another brush. Let's see, let's use this one here. And we're going to work that in. We'll go down because you're going to notice there's a lot of vertical ridges in this thing, all right, fluted sides. So you kind of want to build up on the top of each flute, on the fluted sides. You want it to build up in the channel a little bit. So we're going to drag it down. We're going to burnish some of that in there. When you're dealing with a lot of this three-dimensional features on these cars, kind of like that gondola we did a couple of weeks ago, the exact rail gondolas. It's really hard to work it in. Sometimes you got to go side to side, which is against what I normally say, but to get it into the side of the car. All right. Let's get a sponge and see what happens here. All right, you can see on the end here, we're taking a lot of it off, but it's leaving some behind, which is what we want. And sometimes you really should let it dry a little bit before you start wiping, but we're going to wipe some of the excess away. And then we're going to leave it go for a second and go on the other side and then come back to it. All right, so okay, that's pretty good. I like this. So I don't know if you can see in the light here, but that's a very light effect, all right? It's just a little hazy on the side. I might go back in a little bit and wipe a little bit more away. I forgot to show you some of what I'm trying to achieve here. Let me get the book out. So you can see, this is not the same car, but you can see on this car here, all right, this is a sleeper, I think it is. Just double check here. Yeah, it's a sleeper. You can see some of the residue from everything dripping off the roof there, all right? So it's kind of like what we got going on here. I think this Starship Wash is actually pretty good. It's working out pretty good with the shade that it's coming out. Let's get another car here. And you can also see what I'm talking about on the bottom in the trucks and along all the paraphernalia that's underneath this car, what we were going to be going for, all right? Got another book here. Let's get this other page out here, and let's show you a few more. And it's always good to look at some reference photos. So you can see on this car here, all right, this is a, let's see, this is a grill diner car, all right? So the underframe is pretty beat up. But you see, you can see all like kind of like the buildup in the fluting and stuff there, right? And the light dusting on the top of the roof. And a little grime around this door. So that's what we're going to be working on. All right, and you can see we kind of achieved that already. Let's see if I can get some better light on there. Here we go. So you can see around the door, it's a little bit grimy, especially in the sill here and into the fluting. So I like that. That's pretty good. That's going to go on the other side. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, adjust this here. Have another drink again. Cheers, guys. We see some people who have joined. Let me say hello. Hold on. All right. Hey, Chef Dan, how's it going, buddy? Thanks for joining. Good to see you. Sorry, Chef, this is not Pennsylvania. This is Penn Central. I know that's a 4-letter word for you, right? More than 4 letters, but I kind of like Penn Central. Sorry about that. All right, so again, we're going to go across the top with some of this Starship Wash. Bring down some random, especially in between the windows there. Wipe off the excess and go back. Again, we're not trying to overdo it on this car. You know, again, Penn Central did have a lot of deferred maintenance, but they still kind of kept the passenger stuff clean to a point. Like I said, if you look at those pictures I just showed you, you can see some grime build up from rain streaks and stuff on the side of those cars, especially around the doorways. Like I said, you gotta kind of build it up in the door there, especially along the bottom. Okay, we're going to go back with that dry brush. And we're just going to wipe some of that away. There you go. Pennsylvania had a lot of these cars. A lot of these cars came from the Pennsylvania, actually. So, you know, Dan, next time I see you, if you want to hand off a car to me to weather for you, I'll do it for you. It's not a problem. I have a actually, I forgot. I do have a Pennsylvania Doodlebug, gas electric. Back when I was kind of contemplating maybe doing something with the Bell Dell, I picked one of those up. So maybe I'll weather that one of these days. Brass. There, let's see. Just make sure I got some other clean sponges here. And I did forget to put my gloves on today. Steve, you didn't remind me to put my gloves on. I know, it's not your turn to watch me, Steve, I know. I'll wipe my hands off and put some gloves on here. I do have some here, so. Yeah. You did? I didn't hear you. Oh, you heard him? All right. I didn't hear him. I gotta buy some bigger gloves. These are mediums. And I know I have small hands, but medium's a little too small for my hands, but that's all I got, so. Excuse me. There was the beer in my dinner coming back up on me. Oh, come on, come on, come on, get on. There we go. Okay. And grab another sponge too. A couple more sponges here. Here we go. Just to have it. All right, so I'm going to go back and wipe some of this away now with the sponge. Again, we're going from top to bottom because we want to kind of build up a little bit of grime in those top of those flutes, and especially along this little ridge here along the window. And get a little bit off the top there. It's a little too much. Again, we're going for a light touch tonight. Little run across the side there. Okay, again, we're going for a very light weathering on this silver part here. I know my lighting's not the best here, but let me see if I can adjust something so you guys can see it. I think you can see it, right? All right. So let's go on to the ends. All right, so we've done both sides. We have that very light amount of weathering. Now, what I did notice on the pictures of some of the cars is that there is a lot of grime built up in this area here. So we're going to go a little heavier in between where the diaphragms are. All right. And that would be obvious because, you know, a lot of stuff's getting kicked up and trapped in there as the car is going down the track. So I need a little bit more of this Starship Wash. Let me just reshake some of this up. And add a little bit more to the tray here. Okay, try to keep this in the camera here. Okay, dip the brush. And we're going to just put some inside there. All right. Try to adjust this a little bit. Go to the other side. This card's a little too long. Same thing. We're going to put some in right in there. Try to brush off and go back and just take some of that away. Not a lot. So like I said, we're going to build it up a little bit more inside here. Try to brush off. Get it built up on the bottom there, good too. All right, let's try this brush off and get sponge in there. Let's see if we can get a, I'm gonna use one of these guys right here to get in there a little bit better. You know what, let me, very lightly. Don't want to take too much away. All right. We're going to go back with some of our grime with the pigments. Now, I'm not too sure how much I want to put on the side here. Wipe a little bit of this off, if anything. I'm definitely going to put some on the ends. So let's do that. Let's get our pigment brush here. And we are going to dab some of that pigment in there. Yeah, not crazy about that, so we're going to wipe some of it away. All right, let's go back again. Just putting a little bit on there. All right, so I don't know if you can see it. We can adjust the camera a little bit. Doing a little extra buildup on the end there. I'll let that go for a little bit, go on the other side, and kind of repeat the process. adjust this camera. Kind of just dabbing it on there. There we go. Just giving a little dab with the sponge here. Yeah, that's kind of the effect I'm going for now. All right. Go back and revisit that. Let's do the roof. So I'm thinking the same thing with the roof. We're going to give it a light wash. Any kind of a brown. So we use this Starship Wash again. And we're just going to wash across the top of the car. And we're looking for is just that little bit of brown. And this is black on here, so it's going to be not going to show up as much as you think it might. But what it will do is it'll give us the bite we need to put the pigment on top. And the pigment is what's going to give us the grimy roof look. And a little bit more wash in here. Hey John, how are you? Good to see you. Hope you had a great week. Okay. So it's funny, I put the question out there, would everybody want to see me weather this week? And I had a lot of good suggestions. The problem was what people were suggesting I didn't have on hand. So one person suggested a EL switcher or an EL engine because they were looking for to see how I would do the gray, maroon, and yellow. But the only EL engine I had, I sold at the NERPM. So I figured I really didn't have a use for it, so I just sold it. So I didn't have that. Somebody said maintenance away equipment, but all the maintenance away cars I have, I've weathered already. So I wasn't able to do that. What were some of the other suggestions? Oh yeah, well, Dan will always tell me Pennsylvania Railroad, but Pennsylvania Railroad stuff I did, he's got. So I have to go out and get some more for that. And what else? Somebody else suggested something. Oh, somebody wanted something that was like at the end of its life. And I think almost everything I do is like weathered, like it's at the end of its life. Very not too often go too light on stuff, which I really should once in a while, but. All right, so we got this top covered with the wash. I'm just going to blot that a little bit just to not take it away, but I want it to dry a little faster so it's damp but not wet. Because like I said, wet will turn it into paint. It'll turn the pigment into paint. And what you want is, so you want it to kind of sit on top of the damp paint and you burnish it in. And it's got that dry look, but it's fixed onto the car. All right, so we are going to get some more of this dark earth, which is a lighter tone of pigment than the Russian earth. And we're going to utilize this tonight. So let's put some on this side of the tray. And just wanted you to look at it real quick. You can see this is the Russian earth on this side. That's the dark earth over there. So the dark earth is actually a lighter shade of pigment than the dark earth. All right, let's get a brush here that we can use for the pigment. I need a more stiff bristle, so let's try this one. Yeah, this one will be good. Okay. So give this a dip and kind of just deposit them down the car like that. And then just start stippling it in. If you watched the video the other day with the flat car, that's kind of how I did the flat car. Just kind of like pressing it in, stippling it on the top. And you'll notice the powder kind of gets blended in now. Go across the whole car and then come back and go back and forth a little bit. This is why you want a stiff bristle brush when you're doing this here. Hey, Bobby Hall. How you doing, buddy? Glad to see you. Bobby Hall, the resident Rock Island expert here. I'll try to get a Rock Island car one day, Bobby, so I can weather it for you. Just get some of this in there. Spread out what's on there already. So I'm just trying to get it evened out now. And I'll spread it out a little bit like that too. Don't forget the sides here. So once we got that stippled on, we want to burnish it in a little bit more. Try to even it out a little bit. And you see what we did was we took the shine off the top of that black plastic. And giving it a kind of a faded, grimy look there. And we did that just with the wash and the pigment. Let's go on this side a little bit. A little bit more along the edge here. All right, so we're just burnishing that in there now. Hey, Ray. Thanks for stopping in. Let's take a look at the progress. All right, so you can see the roof is dulled down a lot now. It's not that shiny black anymore. Looks like it's been out in the weather for a little bit, or quite a bit, especially in the Penn Centrals. Okay. Let's give it a quick wipe again. Again, we're going for subtle. We're not going for heavy tonight. At least not on this passenger car. Turn it around, look at the side again. Give it another quick wipe on this side. And let's check our ends. See if we got to do anything in here. So I might go in and just clean that up a little bit. Like I said, if you look at a picture of the ends of the car, I'll see if I can find one real quick. And it's very grimy inside between where the diaphragm is. It's beside the trucks and the underframe. It's going to be the most dirty part of the car. So, okay, I like that. All right, and the roof. Let's take a look at the roof. I don't know what you guys think, but to me it kind of matches what I saw in the pictures. So you can look at the pictures again real quick as a reference. Compare it to the car. Thanks, Steve. Yeah, I think the roof looks good too. All right, let's take a look at our reference pictures again. So if we're using this car here on this page. Thanks, Bobby. So we got the grime on the sides there. I don't know if you can see, it's kind of built up in here, if you can see it, but all right. Roof, it's kind of like that dusted. If you look at this one right here, even more, right? Very close to what we were doing. And you can see around in here how it's kind of really built up. All right. And here's an end shot. Look on the end, look how dirty that is there, right? So I think we're on target for tonight. Okay, now we're going to work on the underframe. Let me have another drink here. Got a little frog in my throat. Cheers again, guys. Yeah, the Morning Sun books are great, dude. I kind of hope they can keep it going, but with the dad being so sick and the two sons, I don't think they're really into it. So I don't know how much more time they have left with the Morning Sun books, but if they're smart, they'll keep it going, you know. Yeah, to me and my frog, I know I got a frog in my throat. That's what Miss Piggy said, right? It's after 10 o'clock. We can do dirty jokes, right? It's not quite 10 o'clock, but anyway. All right. So we're going to go a little different route with the underframe. So kind of like how I do the trucks is how I'm going to do the air conditioning units, the air reservoirs, the brake rigging stuff, all right, all the tanks and things like that, battery boxes. So we're going to go with some Kursk soil, and we're kind of like dry brush that on the side, And sometimes just doing that is enough, especially for the underframe, but we will give it a little bit of the dark earth grime also, so. All right. Oh, you missed it. The beer of choice tonight is the very last can I have of this Well-Being Victory Wheat with electrolytes. So it's actually good for you too. All right. Very good. I got an order in with unleaded beverage for some new stuff. I'll keep that as a surprise. When I get it, I'll show you guys. All right. Okay. Okay, so we got our Kursk soil. We are going to drop her some of that into a tray here. All right, close this up. So let's see, where's my, here we go. This is a good brush for this. Maybe not. Sorry. I think we'll go with this one. This is a newer brush and it's stiff. I kind of want it on the stiff side, so. All right, so we're dipping the brush in. We are knocking the excess off. We kind of, especially on these side details, I want to kind of just lightly tap some on and go back and work it in. Dry some more of that off and then kind of stipple that on there. And we're using some of the same technique that we use for the side frames in the car. We're going to get this on there and we are going to dab some of the pigment on it. I might as well do the side frames too while we're at it, huh? Knock off the excess. And these side frames are a little bit more detailed than normal freight truck side frames. There's a lot of nooks and crannies to get into here. All right, get a little bit more. Do the other one. And wipe that off. Let's go back and get some of our dark earth. And we're going to stipple that onto the side of these tanks here. And battery boxes. again, what that's doing is it's giving you that light, that texture, like that grainy texture that you see on the side frames of the trucks and stuff that's underneath the car. It's built on road grime. You see I'm going a little lighter. I got the lighter pigment, so it's actually showing up lighter than the trucks on some of the cars that we've done in the past. If you want to take a look here, we'll give a little look there. So it's a little bit different. All right. Let's get some on the side frames. Some on this side. We're going to knock off the excess. Give it a quick blow. We're going to brush a little bit of that off. And with the trucks, I might go back with a little bit of Russian earth. It's the darker nose up compared to the battery boxes and stuff. You want them a little darker. All right. How's that looking? I got a little bit on the bottom here too. Okay, we're going to repeat it on this side here. Okay. Excuse me, guys. Yeah, we get some of the Kursk soil. Got a drop or some more in there. It's drying up pretty quick tonight. It's kind of dry in the basement and a little chilly, so it's probably drying it up a little quicker than normal. Not a problem. Just add more. Okay. So get some of this Kursk soil on here, on these underframe stuff here. And again, the Kursk soil is just going to be the underlying paint, lighter shade of paint than what we want to end up with. This is what's going to hold the grime on there. Get the bottom of these things. Okay. And go to the truck side frames. Hey James, how you doing? Good to see you tonight. Anybody up at the Rock RPM? Just wondering how it's going. I've seen some pictures. It's looking pretty good. Do a couple of my buddies that were going, I saw they got stuck in a snowstorm on the way out there. I said, snow, Western New York, Rochester, February, who'da thunk? Yeah, it's a crapshoot. But I guess people who live up there are used to it, so they don't think nothing of it. But those of us who survived Springfield this year know better. All right, let's get the grime on the side of these battery boxes. Thank you. And again, we do this, the pigment on top of the paint, to get some texture. That grimy texture. And let's get some on the trucks now. Going with some of the darker pigment for the trucks. Yeah, a little bit of light in on top of that. Let's knock the extra off. Oh, spillage here. There you go. Blow the excess off. And we're going to inspect the car. We're going to go around the car. We're going to give it a little bit of a wipe with the sponge, just because I did get some a little bit of finger marks on it. Not finger marks, but from the gloves. Clean the gloves off while I'm handling it. Just don't spill the beer, I know. That is sacrilege if you spill the beer. Give this a wipe. All right. Let's go on the other side. Whoops, I forgot a little bit of this one tank down here. Got to get a little bit of the pigment on there. There we go. All right, so like I said, we'll give it a wipe. Get the other side. Same thing. Give it one last wipe. Let's inspect the car. Again, it's going to be very faint on the side here. You're going to notice more along the running gear, the side frames, the underbody. Same thing over here. I did miss a spot on the bottom. Let me just get this real quick with some of the pigment. There we go. Very easy touch up. Again, we'll give it a quick wipe. And we'll call this one done. All right, well, I don't know what you guys think. We can pull the picture back up again and just give it a quick comparison to some of the other cars we have here. So my main concern was getting the underframe. So I'm looking at this picture here. So you see the underframe on that compared to ours. Hey Bob, how are you? I didn't see you come in. Thank you, appreciate that. And we have our light fade going on. Like I said, we were kind of going off this picture here. So a little bit of, you can see the buildup in the flutes, some of the grime, water streaks, especially around the door. So I think this was kind of successful tonight. A little something different. I know we were talking about trying to do something different. I have a lot of green cars, and I don't want to keep doing green cars every week, just to keep it interesting for you guys. I do have a bunch more Penn Central cars to do, but I'll spread them out over the time that we were together, not to overload us with green Penn Central cars. I do have some more cement cars I need to weather up, so I'll probably do some cement cars next week because I need to get those ready for my layout for my cement industry. So but anyway, one more time, we'll take a look around the car. The top, I think the top came out all right. Let's try to angle this on the ends here so you can see them. The ends. The ends. I didn't bother doing the wheels. They're kind of hard to see, so I'm not sure if I'm going to bother doing it or not. But maybe I should, but I will figure that out. Let's see. Yeah. Let's give it we'll give the wheels a quick shot. All right, let's not avoid them. So I almost forgot, so let's do that real quick. Then we'll call it done. Put a couple drops into the dish. And seal this up. Get my micro brush. All right. And the wheels are so easy, so I don't mind just taking a minute to do them real quick. And again, we just spin them in the trucks. Micro brush all the way around. No need to take them out, no need for a mask. No fuss, no muss. All right, tip again. Then we'll flip the car over. Do the other side. So Dan, you can always move your hair up a little bit and do some Penn Central. You can come over to the dark side, you know. Right, Bob? It's me and Bob are Penn Central. We like Bob. We like Penn Central. Come over to the dark side, Dan. Okay. Let's give him this little touch up. I see I missed a spot here. All right. One more truck to do. And there you go. As they say in France, voila. One more time. Top. Oops, I just knocked the window out. That's not good. And that's it. All right. And we're done a little bit earlier tonight. That's good. So anyway, I hope you guys are having a great weekend. I hope you have a great weekend coming up. Don't forget, Steve will be on after me on the Pine channel. Make sure you check that out. Maybe Steve can put a link in the into the chat and head over there. I don't know if Steve's working on buildings tonight or some kind of weathering, but check it out. He's always got some good stuff going on. Don't forget Around the Layout podcast. Make sure you guys subscribe to that, either through Patreon if you want to be a supporter. $3 a month, the best $3 a month you could spend. A lot of extra stuff that is good for you. And that's it. I'll catch you guys later. Have a great week, and we'll see you soon. Good night. Thank you, John. Catch you later. Bye.